All right, so in this video, I want to go over copywriting for your actual ad. There's many different ways of doing it. As you'll see here, let me pull up a few screen grabs actually. So as you can see, I mean, you have very simple text. So it depends on if you're a known brand, if you're not, if it's a retargeting ad, or if it's your main ad. Something like this, I definitely keep more as a retargeting ad, but then you can also try different stuff. So you can see here that it's the exact same image, the exact same everything, except for the actual text in there that they're gonna go ahead and try some different stuff, do some a little bit of split testing, make sure everything actually looks good. So I want to go over today, we will have a video on split testing, it should be coming up, but I want to go over today a little bit about your ad copy. What I like to do is I always like to tell a story. But when I tell the story, I kind of keep it in a realm depending on if it's the first ad they see or not. If it's the first ad they see, I want to be informative. I want them to know about our company. I want them to know what's going on, what kind of story I have for them, and how to get them kind of over the hump of, hey, maybe I should actually click on this. So the first thing is, and this is just created in Creative Hub, so that way you can kind of get an idea of what the actual ad is going to be. But so here, basically what it is we want to start with a question. Then we want to build trust, create urgency, whether it's time, limited amount. Once they get to the landing page, if it's a countdown clock, whatever that is, we want to create some kind of urgency to get them to the actual landing page to see our countdown clocks. Then we have our offer, and then our clear call to action and our website or short link. The reason I do like Rebrandly, and I recommend that a little bit over Bitly, is because Rebrandly, and I think it's rebrandly.com, it might be rebrand.ly. I'll have to look that up. But Rebrandly, actually, you can change your short links. So say you have it on an ad and you don't want to change your actual ad, but you want to change the page it's going to or try something else out. Well, what you can actually do, because if you actually change that ad, it's going to take away all your social proof. That's one big thing right there. So you don't want to actually change the ad when you're taking the number over, but say you have it on a different ad and you're targeting different people and you want a landing page that's more female focused rather than male. This is going to be a huge tip for you guys. Use Rebrandly so you can actually go in there, take that link, and then change the website it's going to. That's huge. So maybe you're saying, hey, men aren't doing very well. I'm going to stop all my male ads. I'm going to bring it over to female. Well, actually, you want to keep the social proof on there because the likes, the comments, the shares, everything else that's already on there, the view count, everything on there is going to help, of course, when you go over to the female audience. But the thing is you're going to then be leading to a male-focused landing page. So again, huge pro tip right there. Use Rebrandly in your actual links as short links so you can change it to whatever page you want to. And that's a strategy. Now, most of the time, you wouldn't want to keep both of them running because if you actually change your link and then you bring it over to the male side or to the female side and you're still running your opposite ad, well, then all the males that are now seeing your ad since it's continued running are now going to your female landing page. So hope that makes sense. You want to kind of cut one ad off, go the other one if you're, kind of split testing a whole new audience. You want to kind of do that with it. As you can see, a nice engaging picture. This could be your video. This could be whatever that you have there, carousel ad. Then we go into your website. So here's your URL, but what I want is your display link. So you can see here what it actually says and where it correlates. Where am I being taken.com is what I put in there. Basically, where are they being taken? So you want some kind of a website, you want some kind of informative information there. I believe you can't do it without a website. So if I take away .com, I'm pretty sure it'll take away that one. No? Okay, so it'll still have it in there. If I take away the www, let me see. Because before it wasn't working, it was taking it completely away and replacing it with the other link. Yeah, there we go. So that is not a URL. So we're going to put in .com again and www. And then that way it'll bring it back for us. Give it a second. There we go. The next one is your headline. So this is going to be what you're offering, of course, and then it's going to be any key benefits that you can actually offer somebody in there. Very short, very sweet and to the point, and sometimes I add an arrow in there. I haven't really gotten it disapproved, so use it at your own caution. It is kind of an off thing, but it does point people to, you can see it's like, oh, I'm reading this, and then there's an arrow right to learn more, or whatever button you want. Of course, you can use any button that you actually want on there, but it actually kind of helps draw a little bit of attention over, kind of push people over. I found that I get better engagement if I do have an arrow versus not, because Have you ever seen those Subway commercials that are going on nowadays, and they basically say at the end of the whole ad, "Come into Subway right now, buy our sandwiches," is basically what the whole thing is. It's some kind of call to action that's very in your face and very specific of come buy this right now. That's basically what this is doing, is it's basically saying click this right now. And then we of course want our cliffhanger. Basically something maybe that you don't even finish the, as you get it, the sentence. You want something of course a little bit different than that. So maybe don't even, after that, blah, blah, blah. So that way people are even more intrigued versus they know the last word. So I hope this helps a little bit with ad copy for your beginning ad. You want to kind of tell a little bit more of a story. And you can also have this short link right here. I usually put it above. So let me just put another line here and say test. So I know I maxed out my line. So now that it says test on there, as soon as it refreshes, it's going to say see more. So the thing is you want it above the see more, your call to action as well, because a lot of people are lazy and they don't want to click on see more. Man, this is taking a while. There we go. So you can see now it says see more with a dot, dot, dot. So if you don't have your clear call to action or something above here, so maybe you start with your question, then as you're starting to get in and build a little bit of trust, you're building a little bit of engagement, maybe a little bit of curiosity in there, you have the short link right after that in case they want to click it. Then you kind of want to keep going back into building the trust, creating urgency, going through that whole process, basically. All right, and one thing really important that I want to slide in here that I forgot to mention in the video, I might actually be cutting this into the video right now, but you can actually see right here on Creative Hub how it's going to display. So you can see here on a mobile news feed, it's actually not going to show right here your newsfeed description. So you need to keep this in mind how you're writing them to say, okay, if it's not going to show the newsfeed description, I'm mostly going after mobile users, then I want to go ahead and use my headline as much as possible and really kind of target in on that and include both of those together. Maybe have your cliffhanger and some benefits in your actual headline, but keeping it very short. Hope this helps on that aspect there. I don't think there was anything else that I kind of wanted to add in, but just make sure that you're aware of where it's actually getting displayed, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, whether it's newsfeed, desktop, all that kind of stuff interacts a little bit differently. So make sure that is actually done and accomplished in your work. So once a company, once they actually know your company a little bit more, I definitely recommend something a little bit more like these. Old Navy and Starbucks and all these ones can kind of get away with it because they're very well-known brands. I bet you if I told you who Old Navy or asked you who Old Navy is, you'd be able to tell me exactly who they are. Starbucks, of course. Society6, a little bit less known. TaskRabbit, I mean, you probably would know that one too. I mean, Honda dealerships, Post Planner. I don't know these guys, they're just testing some stuff, but for the most part, these are companies that people know. And if you're doing something a little bit shorter like this, these guys even have their terms of service down here, or not terms of service, but their terms for the Honda. But you can have something a little bit shorter on your remarketing because people already know your brand. They may have already seen 50% or 70% of your 75% of your video. You may have some relationship to them. They may have even gone to your website. There could be different interaction points that they've had, so they at least know what the name is. So when they see the name up here, they're like, okay, I already know who that is. Or maybe you need to get in front of them with a couple videos. So maybe you hit them with, up to 3 videos, 4 videos before they actually even really know your brand. Because let's be honest, 7 touch points is really where you need to be at for people to actually know your brand and start to begin to trust you. So maybe the first video, second video, third video, they've watched a certain percentage of that one. They start to get to know your brand. Then you hit them with a shorter ad copy right here because you're just trying to get them to take an action, only a photo, not another video. You're trying to get them to do something for you. So I hope this helps a little bit on your ad copy. It's really hard to get into everybody's exact ad copy because it's going to be so different for every single company. It's going to be so different for every situation. If you had them go from a video to a blog post, and then the blog post, they went to the thank you page because they opted in at the bottom, or they went on to the sales page or something like that, that's going to be a completely different copy that we're targeting those people than if we have somebody that's just seeing our video for the very first time and we kind of want to explain a little bit about who we are, our story, why we do what we do, and that's about it. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.